Hayes family. Over the past week, we've been doing some coaches' bios on getting to know them better. So today's my turn, and we're going to poke some fun at some of my history and bring up some embarrassing pictures and whatnot to try to lighten the mood in the state that things are in right now. So hope you guys enjoy this segment, and let's get to the first question. My first experience playing volleyball was in grade 5. My teachers, Mrs. Duco and Mrs. Peters from Zion Lutheran in Cloverdale, BC, got me playing on the team and pretty much fell in love with it ever since then. The one thing I do remember about that school, it was a small school at the time, and the gym was carpet because they did lots of other events in this space. So it was a multi-purpose space, but we would play volleyball nevertheless in this area, and with no knee pads, and the war wounds that I have from grade 5, 6, and 7 are pretty epic due to that gym floor. My first club experience, my coach was Greg Russell, ex-national team player, and he started a club called Focus Volleyball Club, which still exists today. It's based out of Burnaby, BC. He was an amazing coach. I definitely took him for granted back when I was a player, but his kids these days are still playing in the pro series. His son's a pro beach player. His daughter played many years at University of Calgary and whatnot. So a legend in the volleyball community, and highly respected. As a high school student, I played at Fleetwood Park Secondary, and I was able to find the photo of our grade 12 team picture, and you gotta love the bubble knee pads. So that one goes out for Olivia. I know she has a good chuckle over the old school bubble knee pads, but yeah, no, I was rocking the bubble knee pads back in my grade 12 years. Yes, I did play post-secondary volleyball. I played at Douglas College in 2003/2004, and my head coach was Mike Sapik. So my first team I ever coached was a grade 8 boys team at Fleetwood Park, and I was in my grade 12 year, so this would have been 2003. There was unfortunately no coach to coach this team for those guys that year, and I stepped up to coach, and I've been coaching ever since then. In my high school years, I did play multi-sports. Two that stick out the most in my head were definitely baseball and rugby. Loved rugby, fell in love with that in grade 11 and 12 by a teacher named Mr. Shields at Fleetwood Park. He was awesome. Also, baseball was definitely a sport that I loved to play. Actually got post-secondary opportunities with baseball, but decided to play volleyball instead because I had actually more fun playing volleyball than I did baseball. One of my favorite memories as a post-secondary player would have been when we played Capilano College at Cap on a Friday night. They packed that gym to the rafters, and it was just a crazy experience with the shouting of the crowd, and singing "O Canada" prior to the game, and just the atmosphere. It was really nuts. The first club team I ever coached was a U15 girls team at Ducks Volleyball Club, a really successful club in Coquitlam, BC. They're still around. Guys like Brian and Evan and Jordan all run the show there. Friends of mine, definitely ambassadors of the sport and whatnot. I did coach there. Then I went on to coach my own club in BC called Heat Volleyball Club for 8 years, and then I moved to Calgary. I don't have any favorite coaching moments. There's favorites every year, and I'm not going to list off 18 of them. But some that are the most recent would be the Chestermere senior girls making provincials for the first time. And the junior girls the year prior winning the zone championships. Um, some of the club teams that put it all on the court at the last second to medal at nationals. um, but there's not one single moment that takes the cake. My coaching mentors would be my father. He coached my brother's soccer team for many years. I used to go watch when I was younger and see how successful they were as a group of athletes, going after one goal. On a volleyball level, definitely Ryan Hofer from Trinity Western's University women's team, Doug Reimer, UBC women's, and Chris Dell, who was a very successful coach with Camosun, and Rob Gow, who's currently the head coach of the Capilano women's team. So last summer at Team BC, we did an exercise on what your spirit animal is. And this is from Joel, who was head coaching the team, who's the Trinity Western assistant coach, good friend of mine. And I thought he was crazy when he did it, but we did this exercise to see how it all unfolded. And my spirit animal is a bear. So many memories are caught on camera, and a picture that comes to mind as one of my favorites would be 2 years ago. The U18 ace team at nationals played Fraser Valley Volleyball Club, won the first set, lost the second set 25-23, and third set ended up winning 17-15. And one of the dads caught the moment right when the last whistle happened, and it's definitely one of my favorites. A random fact that most people don't know about me is that I served in the infantry, Royal Westminster Regiment, and trained out of Wainwright and Chilliwack for 3 years. Yes, I actually have a soft spot, and I love animals. I'm a total animal lover, especially cats. I am considered crazy cat guy from prior athletes razzing me about this, but I do have a cat named Coco. Other than coaching, I work with the Rocky View Fire Department, and I'm also a journeyman plumber and gas fitter, as well as a power engineer. I would love to see the sport grow on an international and national level, of course, on a local level, seeing more pro leagues, seeing it televised more, other than just the Olympics, and just seeing, people fall in love with the sport. For Ace, would love to see the club go from West Coast to East Coast, and just for all the athletes that get an opportunity to play club to just enjoy the moment, make the most of it, and create lifelong friends and lifelong memories. I think that's what sports all about, and volleyball does a great job providing those opportunities.